Travelers is a show about people imagining where people from the distant future have developed the capability of sending a consciousness back through time into bodies of people in the present day. So you're crossing the street and you're about to get hit by a bus because you're looking at your iPhone. But instead of that, a traveler from the future takes over your consciousness, takes over your body, erases your consciousness, and takes over your life. So that's all we ever do. Well, travelers only take people who are about to die anyway for ethical reasons. But then that traveler has to pretend to be you, and that's the fun of the show. Of course, they are part of a team that is going to do things to save the world ultimately, missions, some good, some bad. But at the end of the day, a traveler's biggest task is to live in the 21st century and to maintain the relationships he or she had before, and pretending to do all that only armed with social media.
We have social media as our historical record hundreds of years from now. The show asks how accurate is that, and will we be able to rely on it as historical record, or really, as we know, is most of it just people making stuff up on their Twitter account? And so a lot of the mistakes that get made in this otherwise very sophisticated mission are human error based on a very inaccurate human record. And so that's where the fun of that comes in, is we think we've got all this figured out, but when we get here, we really don't. There's a lot of improvisation.
And I feel that it's sci-fi, but not really. It's not only for a sci-fi audience, in my opinion.
It is really much more of a mainstream show than anything I've ever done before in terms of sci-fi, because it is more of a character drama set in the here and now. And we have discovered, making the show, that's where the show works best. That's where it lives, and where we can get a mission and that interaction, that character interaction tied together. That's our sweet spot.
And what are you feeling for this particular genre? Let's say for sci-fi. Is that something that you really enjoy doing?
Well, I'm not, first and foremost, a sci-fi guy. So for me, I wasn't looking for a spaceship show or anything like that. I was looking for a drama, and that's what I liked about this, is that the sci-fi elements are adding something to a present-day human drama that you wouldn't otherwise get, except perhaps in an undercover show. I mean, that's what the draw is for me, is that we are undercover, except our secret is not just that we're with the FBI, it's that we're with the future, which is, that's the sci-fi element I find really cool.
It's true, and it is different than anything I've seen, and I was saying, even the graphics and even just the general look of the show, it's different than anything I'm watching right now.
That's cool. I have to give Nick Rand a huge props for that, because we did want to give it a unique look, and I was a huge fan of his work on Sherlock, and so the look of the transitions when people are arriving, that's very much Nick's work, and it's fabulous. It's fabulous.
I felt that. I felt it was that's what it reminded me of, but there's something more to it. I find it's a very unique looking show. But now we're here at Fan Expo. I know you've done Comic-Cons before. Is that right? A little bit.
One Comic-Con, and it was for a film I did called Alien Trespass, which is more like a 50s throwback sci-fi. So no, I'm kind of new. I'm kind of a virgin.
What do you think of it then?
I feel underdressed.
Right now.
Yes. I'm excited because we're about to show this to 500 people. First of all, you rarely get to watch television with 500 people, let alone television that you made. But these are not critics. They are not your family going, well, it's not as funny as your last show. You know, it's people that can't wait to see it because this is their world and they're with other people from their world. And so I think that that's why the feeling at these expos and the cons are so incredible, because it is so many like-minded people with such a positive vibe.
What is that feeling though? You're hearing people react. It's like theater. You're getting that reaction while they're watching it. Well, how does that feel?
It's fun, but we haven't done it yet. So I have my stomach is, yes, my stomach is a bit. I'm nervous. And it's like I mean, you're dressed as an Ewok. This is really the only time when you get interviewed by someone dressed as an Ewok, unless it's an Ewok dressed as a human in the 21st century.
Right. In disguise.
Yes.
As a person.
Yes.
So this will be an episode, is what you're talking right now. This is happening.
I would call that maybe a season 8 episode.
This is the one where we jump the shark. No question about it.
Wait a minute.
They jumped the Ewok in that episode. I really thought.
The Ewok jumps the shark.
The Ewok
Space
jumps
shark.
The Ewok jumps the shark.
What did you? So you're going to have a chance to speak to some fans today. What are your feelings?
I'm going to give them a piece of my mind.
Are you?
No, I want to know the questions they will ask. It's one thing to do, questions like this for people that are trying to explain the show to others. But in a room full of people that just saw it, that don't need an explanation of what the show is, what will their questions be? What are the things that they're going to say, that worked, I didn't get that part? And of course, they're a sci-fi audience. There's at least one of them is going to go, if you were really jumping from the 29th century to the 21st,
There's going to be some accuracy. They're going to go, oh, okay, right? Something, if you don't mind, something you like to do in your spare time that's completely away from work.
I'm a big rider of Vespas.
Really?
Yes, I scooter, much to the chagrin of the people that employ me. I scooter everywhere.
He races through town at sometimes 20 miles an hour.
Oh no, I've got a good scooter. I do dangerous scooting.
Not in Toronto.
I don't have it. No, Toronto, LA and Vancouver.
Yes. Thank you so much for your time. I don't want to take any more. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.